Summer in full swing, schools are breaking up for the holidays and some children will be given homework to do. But what do we think of homework? Is it beneficial? Should it be banned completely, Janet? Is it more of a pain for the parents than it is for the pupils sometimes?
Well, my parents didn't help me with my homework. They both left school at 14, and as I went through secondary school, I was doing Latin, history of architecture, applied maths. I mean, they wouldn't have been able to help. But what happened to me was that we moved from living just down the road from my school. I literally lived a 10-minute walk away. When I was 14, my dad decided without any family consultation we were moving to outer London, and I could not leave my school, leave my friends, leave, you know, the teachers that I was working with. So I had to do my homework, and I did get 2 hours of homework a night. I ended up doing a lot of it on the Underground, which wasn't great, balancing my exercise books on the Central line, going into Notting Hill Gate every day and then changing to another train. And I mean, I thought it was ridiculous. That, I mean, all right, I had a long journey, but it definitely made it much more difficult. Having said that, I see the value of homework. But I think that there might be a way round this because private schools have much longer school days than state schools. And I think if homework could be done at school, because to me, they let kids out of school too early in the afternoons. Often their parents are working, they just hang around. What is there for them to do? And they also live in noisy environments. The telly will be on. It's hard to concentrate. You know, it was hard enough for me to concentrate at home with my sister in the next room. I think it'd be good if there were homework classes at school. Nothing too rigid or dictatorial, but if the school day could be extended and there could be study areas and more after-school clubs, and I know that everybody watching is going to say, where's the money going to come from? I think the government must put money in this direction. It must fund it because we're seeing now children's results really affected by COVID, really badly affected literacy levels and mathematics levels coming down. And it's just not good enough. And to give our kids the best start in life, we've got to invest more in education. I mean, we bang on and on and on about the NHS, but in my book, education is key.
The homework club thing after school, I think maybe doesn't necessarily have to be compulsory because I think if I said to my stepdaughters, you have to stay on for another art school.
No, but it needs to be
but
made
it's there
fun.
if it's possible. If someone is going home to a noisy space, it's there.
Well, it needs to be inclusive and fun.
You think banned entirely, homework? Really?
Yeah, I did as a kid and I definitely did as a parent. I think there are a lot of time at school. It was so stressful as a parent and I hated seeing my kids being so stressed with it. And I mean, really stressed, you know, especially Jake, my middle one, because he was a real perfectionist and he got 2 hours homework every night and we had, just watching. I took him out of school in the end because I thought this is absolutely ridiculous to see a kid being under this much stress. I think they're at school long enough, so I am absolutely for banning it. I think it's... And I know a lot of parents that end up, so they don't have... Well, they either pay for tutors or they do the homework. So they'll write it down for the kids, so the kid just... because
I couldn't do the kids. I couldn't do the kids' homework.
Yeah, I mean, they had no time with me.
I was absolutely a useless help because, especially with maths, because of my maths phobia, which I know that Colleen shares as well, I would... The homework, I remember Matty much more than Louis because I was working very long hours in Coronation Street, actually, the time I remember. So I was getting home quite late. And he was at a private school, which I eventually took him out of. But the stress of this 3-hour homework that he used to have, it was too much. It was cutting into our family time and cutting into our relationship as well. So,
of course.
I think the homeworks after school is a very good idea.
Yeah, and we're going to stay on the subject of school because... you mightn't be good at maths, but you were very good as a monitor of something else. Yes, she's got her badge.
I was head of milk.
Of course, our children are at home getting school report cards. Got us thinking about how we were all like at school. You were the milk monitor.
I was.
Very important role.
Absolutely.
How long did it last for?
About 2 days.
Oh.
Yeah.
It's a lot of milk.
Yeah,
a lot of milk
a lot of... Yeah, no use crying over it, but I did.
And what were you at school, Christine?
Oh, I mean, that gives me the ick.
Yeah, I've got
I'm just a melt, aren't I?
You're an absolute melt.
I am an absolute melt.
Oh, monitor.
You're the head
Imagine
girl
her
goat.
monitoring.
Monitor. because I was so badly behaved at school.
What, you were just a generic monitor?
Yes, it was just
I
thinking
was a monitor. I was the person that put the pencils out, or, you know, low-grade operative, basically. Yeah, look at those eyes, the eyes of evil. Yeah, smiley face, check the eyes out. I'm not missing a trick.
Really, that picture sums everything up, doesn't it? We should have guessed the future then.
But I tell you what, the school report, it's about now that kids all over the country are going to get that end-of-year report. And I'm not frightened of many things in life, but when they handed me that brown envelope, and I used to walk back home, and the last few hundred yards, I'd be thinking, oh, where can I put it in the house? They don't see it till tomorrow.
Did you never look at it beforehand? Could you never sneak open the envelope?
I knew what would be in it because I've kept all my school reports. I mean, I've done a programme, I did Teenage Diaries on the radio, and people have seen my school reports. On the left side, academically, pretty good, pretty brainy. Right-hand side, comments.
No, it's the comments you wanted to try to avoid, wasn't
lacking
it?
discipline, over-boisterous, talks all the time.
Oh, no, I got... Colin is it would say something, you know the way they do. Colin is likeable, friendly, everyone likes her. In capitals, when she's at school. Look at that. My dad cut my hair. Yeah, my dad cut it. There was 8 of us. They couldn't afford a hairdresser's, OK? So...
At least you didn't have the pudding basin one.
Well, I did at one point, literally the basin round and cut round.
But you were off living life at that age already. You were gigging.
You know, I'd say to my maths teacher, I'm sorry, I was gigging.
They didn't like that, though, did they?
What about your report?
Oh, mine were just as you is. I loved school. I loved, you know, I loved going. I loved the getting off with the boys bit and all of that thing. But I was just very, very lazy. Nothing really turned me on until I found drama. So my reports were, I was always quite polite. I wasn't rebellious. I wasn't horrible. But I was just bone idle, you know. And it was just, she should try much, much harder. Stop talking so much. And it was always about talking. I used to get separated from the best friend all the time.
You all need to stop talking now. Thank you very much, ladies. It's done.